Okay, seemingly you heard already everything. What can I be moisiv? But there's a Rabbi הקודש, before he was nifter, he said, "Lebonai nitzorich." And what that means, everybody can understand. We heard the sichas from the Rebbe Chof Ches Nissen, that everybody was shocked. And the Rebbe said, "Ich gebe sie bezeich." He said clearly, "Lebonai anitzorich." Ich gebe sie bezeich. And what it means, that gebe sie bezeich, don't say ad mosai because you were told to say ad mosai, but feel it. Realize it yourself. There's a taina that keeps on repeating itself by Bochim over and over and over again. And the main ones that you have to speak to is Bochim, the old people. They're old people already. Bochim claim, we were born so many years after Gimel Tammuz, what do you want from my life? We didn't see the Rebbe, we weren't in Yechidus with the Rebbe, we didn't talk to the Rebbe, we weren't by Farbrengen of the Rebbe. Everything is printed, everything is written, it doesn't have the same. If Lu Yitzur, I would have been in Yechidus by the Rebbe, if Lu Yitzur, I would have been by Farbrengen of the Rebbe, would be gore different. The sheker of that is that all those people that were by the Farbrengen of the Rebbe, were in Yechidus of the Rebbe, and did hear the Rebbe, they're not that different. So it's only totally b'rotzen. But the only reason why I'm repeating this taina is because b'etzem, I saw the Rebbe write such a thing. The Rebbe says it's a shtickle taina. The Alter Rebbe in Tanya Perek Memvov, he says there's a very easy way, korv l'kol echot b'mo'er ya'avas Hashem, bring yourself closer to Eibishter, and that's the Ava k'mayim aponim aponim. That when you're mizbeinen how the Eibishter, Me'iger Rama, from the highest of those, he was Yerid L'Klipas Mitzrayim, and he was Mekarev every single Yid to take him out of the Tumas Mitzrayim, out of the Memtesh Shari Tumah, and the Avad that the Eibishter showed for every single Yid, and how he wants every single Yid, and how every single Yid is important to him. So we automatically, that's a Teva, the Kamayim upon him. That's Perek Memvov. Ganz Arichas over there, that goes into the details of the Avad the Eibishter showed to every single Yid. And therefore that should be every single Yid with a Gavaldige Avad and Tshuka to be Dovak B'HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Then the Alter Rebbe goes on in Perek Mem Zayin, and it says that B'chol Dovadei B'chol Yom Yom Chayv Adam Liyotzah Mitzrayim. What's the Hamshach in Yonim? So the Rebbe says that when we learn Perek Mem Vov, Gemayim aponim and the gewaltige Ave that the Eibishter showed, and he gave Matan Torah, and he was machnes every Yid, Cheder, Lefnim Cheder, and he was Mechabek, and was Menachek, and he showed this terrific Ave Yid. So he have a time that this happened 3,000 years ago. I wasn't there. Yes, I heard about it, I learned about it, but I wasn't there. I didn't see it. And Moshe Rabbeinu also says this taina. Leim Abaseinu, it was a curious breeze, but with you. But it's always that there is a difference if it's Abaseinu or with you. So over here also in Perek Memvov, the Alter Rebbe says, Kamayim aponim, it's a way that every single Yid, no matter who he is, could be Neseir be'avas Hashem, because David showed such a terrific Ava. But that was 3,000 years ago. So the Alter Rebbe is going on in Perek Mem Zayin, B'chol der v'der, B'chol yom v'yom, Chayiv Adam li'etzlatin ki'ilahu yotzah mitzrayim. It's happening right now. Somebody that comes with this taina be'etzem, I don't know to call him an apikoros or not, but L'maisa, he doesn't understand what the concept of Rebbe is. We all learn in Geras HaKodesh, Chof Zayin, the Rebbe is not the Guf Gashmi. The Metzias of the Rebbe is way beyond that. The Metzias of the Rebbe is Emunah, Ava, Yira, and Adarabba is Nimtzev Yatirba B'chayei. The Metzias of the Rebbe is the Memutza HaMechaber between me and the Eibishter. Melech Malchum Bat Atzim Sein Sof Baruch Hu. That's the Metzias of the Rebbe. And when you're thinking only about the Rebbe and that if I would have seen the Guf Gashmi of the Rebbe, it was gewaldig. Mamash was, you were able to come to tears by Farbrengen, by hearing it, by Yechidus. What is a gewaldig? But where does that come from? That comes because Chumriyus. What your etzem is, and what the etzem of a Yid is, what the essence of a Yid is, what keeps on Yidden, what kept on Yidden throughout all years of Golus is, we have a neshama. That's the essence of the Rebbe, and that's that the Rebbe is mechaber, my neshama with the Eibishter. Today I came to Hasoga, it never came to me, it never reached me before. Today it's all at once fell into my head, what I am and who I am. I was once in Yechidus by the Rebbe. And don't embarrass me later, but the facts are the facts. I gave it settled to the Rebbe, wrote it settled. With everything it was. And then the Rebbe said, "Hast noch was zu fragen?" Do you have something else to ask? My head started spinning. Anybody that ever went to the Yechidus, you know that before Yechidus, you prepare yourself, you go in, you know you're going to go to Yechidus, you megale, you add some metzias, the Rebbe will see your whole metzia, you prepare yourself, and all the questions that you ask are the things that really concern you. The Rebbe asked, what did I leave out? What? And then I kept quiet, so the Rebbe asked the second time, hast noch was zu fragen? And here my head started spinning. Did I leave out? What am I missing? And then a third time, ach noch was zu fragen, weil ich will so endigen mit deinen Joden, weil ich reden wegen meinen Joden. So here, the third time, I really broke down. It's probably because of everything, where I'm holding, what I'm doing, what I'm feeling, etc., etc. So I literally started crying, and I said to the Rebbe, help me on tshuva. Couldn't think of anything else. Because obviously there's a mechitza, mavdelis, something that's separating between me and what I'm supposed to be attached to, that I didn't left out, whatever I was left out. Today I came to a new hasoga in that statement of the Rebbe. And the Rebbe answered on that when I was crying. He said, "Oh, but because I was crying." That was the answer of that same. But today it hit me. Think into the words. Ich will, du sollst endigen mit deinen Jonim, weil ich will reden wegen meinen Jonim. I'm in my own world. Everything that I'm asking, whether it's Ruchni, it's Gashmi, it's whatever it is, Hatzloch in this or Hatzloch in that, the Broch in this or Broch in that, das ist deine Inyonim, it's nicht meine Inyonim. Look where we're holding. And that wasn't the first Yechidus, it wasn't the last Yechidus. Alpha became the Rebbe can make. Today it hit me that, but you never understood that statement from the Rebbe. I'm not there in the Rebbe's Inyonim. Whatever the person, whether you're asking a bracha in Ruchnius, it's according to your hasogas, according to what you want. Even if you're asking Limud HaTorah and Avodas HaTfilah, and you're asking about whatever it is, but it's the way you understand these Inyonim. Havaya nitzov alav mabit alav beichen kloyes in leiv karoik. And by the Rebbe it was the same thing. He looked at every chassid. And that look at every chassid is b'yeser seis or b'yeser oz, yatir me b'chayayim. Because there's no more hagbolas. He sees the etzma neshama like the last maimed that the Rebbe said. And when the Rebbe left as Chof Ches Nissen, he said, "Ich gebe es über zu euch." That means that he saw that we have it, but we're not catching it. We're not reaching it. We don't understand it. The Admosa is not a scream that we scream because the Rebbe tells us to scream, or because this is necessary, because we want some kind of perfection, because we want to reach somewhere, because we want to have whatever it is when Mashiach will come. I don't know. Yeah, the Turim, we read about it, but do we really know? The Rebbe wants our neshama, that every single Yid has the neshama, the etzem of everything, should wake up. All your tears that are bothering you and all the things that are holding you back from fulfilling your shlichus, and why the Eibishter created you in the first place, is not pushing you. Start screaming at Mosai. We think of Mashiach in terminology of Klal Yisrael, the Gula Shlema, Beis Hamikdash Hashlishi. It's great stuff. It's very important. But how many sichos were there from the Rebbe that every single Yid has a nitzitz of Mashiach? And every single Yid, every Yontev, when it comes to Yontev, he davens the Iskayim B'Mikra Shekosov, which is written on Mashiach. And that when I megale my Mashiach, so through the Gilui of my Mashiach, my personal Mashiach, that I should be, let's put it in simple words, the Chassid the way the Rebbe wants me to be. The way I should be. Or, let's take the Sikha of the Rebbe that Taim Chetmimim printed in Lekutei Sichas Chelik Yud Dalet. He says it's impossible to succeed in Taim Chetmimim. Impossible. Al pi teva. Because this Seder and the necessity and the demands of Taim Chetmimim are too many. Here you have to learn Nigla. And you have to learn Nigla Legirs and Liyuna. Here you have to learn Chassidus, and Chassidus the Girsa Liyuna. Here you have to daven ba'ariches. Yeah, it also seems to exist nowadays in our generation. Although I don't know, some people forgot about it, whatever it is. But it's there. That's the thought of Taim Chetmimim. The Rebbe Rashab, when he was Miyaseh Taim Chetmimim, he wasn't Miyaseh Taim Chetmimim that we should have Go'enin and Eluyim and P'kim B'Shas. He said that exists already. He says that when somebody sits and learns and davens and learns Chassidus, it should be nicker on his ponim that this is somebody that's learning Chassidus, that he's learning Torah Tzavayah. That's why he was Miyaseh Taim Chetmimim. The only way that can happen is, like it says in hundreds of sichos and thousands of places, if we start not talking davening, not talking Kaddish, and not do all those averas that hold back the Golas. Rachmana litzlan. Darf liegen in Baruch Ato Habaye Kepshutoi. Mamshich sein Elikus in Welt. How? Who am I to be Mamshich Elikus in Welt? What connection do I have with that? Start with your own world. Every person's Eilam Kotten. Bring in your own Mashiach. Scream, and let it at least bother you. Als het liegen at dat tiefen Goles. Deine Inyonim haben nicht kein Scheiches mit meinen Inyonim. Okay, maybe I was grob, not as grob as I was, whatever it was, but ein ze, efes katseyu. Efes katseyu. Think once a day how much is my Inyonim connected with the Rebbe's Inyonim. When before davening and after davening, before Seder and after Seder, during Seder, this and that. How many seconds do I think, and now acting the way the Rebbe wants me to act, according to my abilities? I'm not asking you to be Rabbi Masmid. I'm not asking you to be a little parrotshire. I'm asking you to be this bocher of this century with the hell and behester of the Cheshkes HaGolus, but do what you could do. Be what you could be. Stop letting the Yetzer Hara overcome you. That's what all the stichas of the Rebbe are. That's what the Rebbe's kosher was. The Rebbe expressed his hanoi, his tainuk, his this, when he sees the bocher, that he's mayor, that he's lights, that he's doos, and a tooth. And it's not enough that you did for yourself, but it's that's the Aaron that it's. Let's start, before we start with the big world, let's start with the yeshiva. In every yeshiva, there's bochum that are into it, there's bochum that are not into it. What happens? The bochum that's not into it, that is into it, he doesn't want to be embarrassed by the bochum that's not into it, and be called different names, whatever it is. Where is the Avos Yisrael? Here could be a bochum, be a Talmud of Taim Chetrim, and the Rebbe wants him to be. Somehow, maybe he had bigger Yetzer, maybe he was bigger Nisyonis, that's the way he is. Maybe he doesn't have your head and doesn't have that geschmack in learning because he's not masik the Torahs. But have Avos Yisrael, wake him up, he's a Tomim, he's in Torah Tmimim, his neshama was chosen. Where's that Avos Yisrael? Why does Avos Yisrael apply only to somebody that's wearing earrings or has a ponytail or anything like that? Why not to want that every boch in Teim Chetmimim is a ben le Rebbe? His neshama was chosen by the Rebbe to be a Talmud in his yeshiva. It's time that we woke up. Say ad mosai not only because you're told, say ad mosai because it's my inyan, because it concerns me. Taim Chetmim, Baruch Hashem, the Eibishter chose me that I ended up in the Taim Chetmim in the Lubavitcher Rebbe's yeshiva, the heart of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, which is Mama's his thing. And I was zeicha to be there, no matter who I am, no matter what I am. And I want just have the level of dollars in your parents' home. If somebody comes in and dirties it with his mud, didn't care. They were above it. But according to our darga, it bothers me. It's my home. It's my parents' home. It's your Rebbe's home. What goes on over there should concern you. That every piece of dirt there should hurt you. Every dvarim b'teilim should bother you. Every bocher that's in Torah Tmima is chosen by the Rebbe himself to be his Chayole Beis David, to go ahead and do what it takes that Mashiach should come. And he should take those keiches. And if this is not happening, then this is a rebellion. You know, you spoke about before about this tinus, that tinus, Let's think for a second. There was a mechama from the Rebbe about me Yehudi. Nekudas Hayadus. And there was certain individuals that because, okay, everybody knows it's not Lashon Hara. Berg was also family with the Rebbe, with a distant relative. And he couldn't bring himself to leave the government because of me Yehudi. And the Rebbe said, the Rebbe always was nizer b'l'shoynei with his Avos Yisrael, that even the biggest, whatever it was, Munuvalim, he gave him the respect they wanted. But over here, Berg and his Katile, he called them Avodim Knanim. I remember the headlines in the newspaper at that time. The Lubavitcher Rebbe called them Avodim Knanim because they can't, something which was something Yikar HaMetzias, the Rebbe doesn't have, never spoke negative about anybody. But this was what it does. Now, what was the Rebbe talking about? He's talking about somebody that was raised as a Zionist. Somebody that was raised with the false notion that the state is Aschalta de Gula. That's what he believed in. And he was zeichet to his life's dream that he is a minister in a government, which is the government of a state, which is Aschalta de Gula. And that's what he was fighting his whole life. That's what he dedicated his life to. So the Rebbe wanted him because of something that's true, something that's truth. Give up. Give up your life's ambition. Give up your life's accomplishment because of truth, because Dvar Hashem, he took. And when he didn't have the strength in him, the Rebbe called him an Eved Knani. Now let's turn that around. We have a life's ambition. We know the Rebbe. We're connected with Emes. We're Talmidim of Temchet Tmimim. We're Chassidim of the Rebbe. Everything that the Rebbe accomplished. So yeah, there's a Yetzer Hara. Yeah, we're living in a Dor Choshech. Yeah, but there is also all kinds of nisyanis. But we know the Pesach in HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'Rishon b'Yosef. And Adrabah kol hagodol mechaver yitzim hagodol b'menu. And if the Yetzer Hara is so big and so strong and it's so hard to sit and daven like a Tommy should daven and learn like a Tommy should learn and be a Tommy and all your hanoga and to have obviously soul to go out mitzvayim the way you're supposed to go out mitzvayim and not waste your time. If there's such a big Yetzer Hara that tries to stop me from doing all those things, Simon, that I have koiches to overcome that. And I can transform this choshech into the way that it's supposed to be. And if I don't, I'm an Eved Knani. It's not my title. I don't... Rabbi say, you know, I would say there's, we all put on tefillin hope. And everyone knows the kavanah of tefillin that the Alter Rebbe says in the Siddur. The Kodesh Baruch Hu tzivon lichter talas talas v'ashet yesh v'enichot shmoi v'yitzir tzivon tzivon alev al roish keneged hamoyach k'dei sheneshaved haneshama shi b'moyach v'gam tayvis emachshavos libeinu l'avodas yizbarach. Two questions. Number one, Al pi seichel, what should I be mishabed first? The tayvis and machshavot libeinu, or the neshama shi b'moyach? Now here the Alter Rebbe says first neshavet and neshama shi b'moyach, and afterwards betgam tayvis and machshavot libeinu. Yizker tzabere. The order of the l'chur should be fakert. Number one. Bigger question. What's the neshama shi b'moyach? What is that? Anybody that learned a little bit of Tanya, l'chura at first glance, neshama shi b'moyach is the nefesh of the keys. I have to be meshabed the nefesh of the keys. Meshabed neshama shi b'moyach, meshabed the nefesh of the keys. Yeah, there's an old saying, a tzaddik impels, nefesh of the keys, a gewaltige Zach, I'm busy. I'm talking the latest politics of Lubavitch, the latest things that are going on in Lubavitch. I'm talking a gewaltige Zach at the hair of Chassidus. That's what I'm busy with. That's the first step of the Yirid of the Yetzer Hara. Moyach has to be Shubet Lasses Rotzen HaBeirei the way the Rebbe told us it is. And only when the neshama shebemoyach is in the shubet to rotzen Hashem, the way the Eibishter wants it, that's when we can machshavos libeinu. Otherwise, you're missing the boat. You're doing everything only according to your nature, according to the way you want it. You're not given over to the rotzen Hashem. Even the neshama, the nefesh hakif, and since Melush Beguf, it's Mugbil according to the way my Guf accepts it directly. The first kavanah of tefillin that in Maaseh B'Poel is the neshama, it should be meshubah to Malei Rotzen Hashem, the way the Rebbe says it is. And when you find yourself in the yeshiva of Temchet Tmimim, and you find yourself in Lubavitch, you find yourself in that you are the one that is representing the Lubavitch Rebbe the Lubavitch Rebbe. Because there's a letter that the Rebbe used to hang in Kfar Chabad a long time, that the biggest way of Hafotzes Mayonis, which was that way, Derech Agav, when the Rebbe started speaking Meine Yonim, after he finished with me and whatever, what was Meine Yonim? Was Herzich mit Hafotzes Mayonis. He wanted me to give a duch. What's going on with Shurim and Chassidus, what's happening with Hafotzes Mayonis. How many sichas did the Rebbe say, Hafotzes Mayonis? Everybody does mitzvah tefillin. Everybody does mitzvah mezuzah. Everybody does all the mitzvahs. but there's an expression from the Rebbe that Hafotz HaYadus is only preparation for Hafotz HaMayonos. Because Hafotz HaMayonos gives us a realization what a Yid is, and what the iskashus of the etzem of Yid with Atzum Sein Sof Baruch Hu is. And it's very hard to do that if you have no connection with mitzvahs. So there's a hachonah for Hafotz HaMayonos. And that's mine and Yonim, that the Rebbe said. And there was a letter in Kfar Chabad that was hanging. The best and easiest and quickest way for Hafotz HaMayonos is for everybody that was exposed to a Maimach Chassidus. Halachas kama to Sicha of the Rebbe, to a Heroya of the Rebbe. That you have that. To Igrit Kodesh of the Rebbe. It brings to a certain machshava, dibra, maisa in a particular way. So the Rebbe in that letter wrote, daven in a way, learn in a way, behave in a way, ben odom lechaveiroi, that people should say, where did he learn that? Who taught him that? Chassidus. Oh, if that's what Tzemach Tmim and Chassidus teaches, I also want to do it. I want to do it because I see that behavior. Ben odom lemoga, ben odom lechaveiroi. Whoever thought of this last time, that when I talk in the middle of davening in public, or I walk in the street, and the first mitzvah, the Frierdiker Rebbe and the Rebbe is that when you walk in the street and you sit in the store, say Mishnayos Valpeh. Show your Yid, your Chayil, that the Eibishter Atzum Sein Sof Baruch Hu is looking at you and seeing what you're doing for him to make him a dir b'tachteinim. When's the last time you had such a thought? Yeah, I got to do something. Your whole metzias is Hashem Nitzav Alov. What's the Rebbe speak about Havaya Nitzav Alov? What does the Rebbe speak about Havaya Nitzav Alov? But who is it said Havaya Nitzav Alov? Havaya Nitzav Alov is said on Yaakov Avinu. That's what the pasuk Havaya Nitzav Alov. And what does the Medrash say? This is Sicha from the Rebbe. What does the Medrash say about this Havaya Nitzav Alov, Yaakov Avinu? That is showing Kayom Al Elekayim and Tzadikim Elekayim Kayim Alehem. By Yushoyim Kayom Al Elekayim in a Paro Omed Al Yor. By Tzadikim Havaya Nitzav Olav. Translation. Erosha's whole metzias is his personal gains, his personal wants, his whatever it is, his personal sipuk, that his avodah zorah is supporting to his. So that's what he's nitzav of. That's his whole metzias. That's what he's koching himself in. What am I getting out of this? What's my gain? By tzaddikim of all love. The Eibishter had a taiva, we can't explain it. They have a dira de bedachtein, and the only one that can do it is a tzaddik, a talmid of the Rebbe. Tzaddikim deim lebayram. The Bonai Anitzarich, Rabbeinu HaKodesh said, the first one that was called Nasi B'Yisrael. So one of the first sichas in the Rebbe also. Realize on a personal level, yeah, it's a Havaya Nitzav on every single Yid, but by Tmimim, it's not only a Havaya Nitzav, it's Rebbe Nitzav all over. The way you daven, the way you learn, the way you behave, in Odom Lechaver, the way you do Mivtzoyin, the way you're walking around, etc., that is the Starkheit, Nitzav Melech, that's what spreads, and that's what's going to bring about Hafotz HaMayonos. Talking about usually the mood of everybody, like when I started crying, I ever helped me through it. Oh yeah, I have to give up my whole life. I have to give up my whole this, all my tanugim, b'chuli. You start crying. There it says, even though you are whatever you are, the Eibishter still wants you, and he wants you to be with him. I'm curious to the Kim. Like the Rebbe, like later asked the Rebbe, how do you do tshuva misimcha? One of the things was that when you're misbein the fact that through tshuva, Rosh Gomer can become a tzadi Gomer, b'shaita choda, b'riga choda, so it's a simcha be'ein aroich of all other mitzvahs. So when the Yetzer Hara tries to tell you, I can't do it, or I can't have a satisfaction, or I can't reach that, so you should know you are not only being an apikoros for yourself, you're not only being an apikoros against the Torah, against the Rebbe, and everything that the Rebbe spoke in every single kracha for Kutas Sichos. And it's Yatir Mebchayehi. This Inyan, Emunah, Ava, Yira, that's the Metzias of the Rebbe. That's what he wants every Yid to feel what his real is, how his Etzem and Neshama is Kinsof Baruch Hu. To bring it out not only with this deep inside somewhere, you say, I'm fine, but to take that Etzem and bring it out in the Koiches HaGluyim, like it says in the Maimah of the Rebbe. Of everything that I'm saying, forget about everything I said. Just take the first sif of the Maimah of Tetzaveh. Raglayim shel Moshe. The Rosh Eina Yochel Leilach ba'atzmoi. He needs the feet to walk. The Rebbe is where the Rebbe is. And it's a Yatir Mebchayehu. But he can't walk around and do and accomplish that what he wanted to, what the Baal Shem Tov wanted to accomplish. From the beginning of Chassidus, and Mashiach said to the Baal Shem Tov himself, that can't happen. That's what we're here for. So, are we going to do it with Kabbalas Oil, or now it's Leif Shonim? A little bit of feel. Be misbein a little bit. Thank the Eibusher that it's a Taka Helen Behester. It's Taka this. But right now, you are born, you have the B'chomin Ma'aseh, and right now the Eibusher created the world with everything that it is and everything that it exists, so that to give me a schus, that's why not to give me the schus, but the Metzias says, I have the schus, that kula hai v'ulai, machshova achas, dibur echad, ma'aseh echad, is machias atzmei, it's kol ha'olam, kula l'kaf schus, miyah tshuva, hatzol la'olam. We can do it. Start believing in yourself. Stop putting yourself down that I'm dead there, I wasn't there, v'chuli v'chuli. The Eibusher says, your babas einoi. The Eibusher says, Amzu yitzartli tilosi yisapeiro. The Eibusher takes every single Yid and puts him on his palm, the Kabiyochel, and brags to all the Malachim. That he can create and turn around the whole world from this gullus that we're in and make it into a gula. That's what the Rebbe said in Chav Ches Nissen. So either you believe it or get out of here if you don't believe it. Do it!